And here we have Aisha's house. Aisha of the line, you see that's her house. It was 6 by 5 meters, 30 square meters. So this is the room and that's the courtyard. Subhanallah. Nabi Sallallahu, Aisha's house had two doors, the front door to the masjid and the back door to the city of Medina. And Nabi Sallallahu died in Aisha's courtyard. He literally died in her lap, or throughout the line. So when she was crying, she was screaming, and the bees did, the Sahabas in the masjid, they could hear Aisha crying. So they immediately started crying. Umar was dealing with the companion saying, by Allah, Nabi is not dead. He is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will come back and kill all these hypocrites. At that time, Bakr was outside the city. He was running some errands. When he came to the city, he saw the people crying. He knew that something was up. That's obvious. These people are crying, so something is up. They told him that the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had died. Nabi and Bakr were friends for over 50 years. Like he was the Prophet's best and closest friend. So losing him, that was really tough, that was really hard, but he dealt with it because he knew it was from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He came to the house of Aisha radiallahu anha, he uncovered the Prophet's face, he kisses his forehead, and then he said, oh Ya Rasulullah, you are pure in life and you are pure in death, Ya Rasulullah. Oh Ya Rasulullah, I will sacrifice my father and my mother for you, Ya Rasulullah. And then he walked into the masjid. In the masjid, Mardan was crying, he was yelling, saying, whoever says in the beast that I will cut his head off or will kill him. Abu Bakr, he realized that responsibility. He knew that the Sahabas needed help. So he stood on the member of Nabi Sallallahu and he asked all the Sahabas to gather around him, and then he said, all people, whoever worships Muhammad, let him know that Muhammad has passed away, and whoever worships Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, let him know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ever living and never dies. Umar immediately, he immediately dropped his sword. He says, this is the first time I hear this ayah, and subhanallah, and that's when he realized that the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had really passed away. You see, so the Sahabas washed him with his clothes on, they shrouded him sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and then they performed Salat al-Janazah individually, one person at a time, and that took them days. And the Nabi died on Monday, but he was buried on Wednesday. Wow. After Aisha radiallahu, she didn't move out to the house of the Prophet. She spent the rest of her life in the same house. She used to sleep on the bed of the Nabi next to the grave. Even after the death of her father Abu Bakr, she would do the same thing. But after Umar's death, she made a partition. You know why she made it? Because Umar is not related to her. That's true. It's not mahram. So every time she wants to go in there, she puts on the hijab first, and then she goes in there to give son to the Prophet and her husband and Nabi. And that shows how respectful and how noble she is. So ladies do ziyarah from here. This is the masjid, the Rawda. And men, we do ziyarah from here. These are the golden gates. So Nabi is the first one. He is on the right side, sideways, and the face is the Qibla. So when you stand before the golden gates, you're actually facing his face. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu is further down from the Prophet's shoulder all the way down. Umar is going from the shoulder all the way down. The Sahabas made it that way out of respect. Nabi, Abu Bakr, and Umar. Okay? Aisha radiallahu anha had a room and a courtyard. Yes. The graves of Nabi, Abu Bakr, and Umar are in the courtyard, not in the room. And Nabi said, the prophets of Allah are buried where they died. The Sahabas buried him in the courtyard because he died there. This is Hafsa's house, and the other one is for Fatima, the Prophet's daughter. So Hafsa's house, Aisha's, and Fatma's are now underneath the green dome. 88 years after Hijrah, the roof of Aisha came down. Some of the Abdul Aziz were built at Aisha's house. Some cities were built. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, he combined the room. He combined the room with the courtyard, so it became one room or one chamber. And then he removed Hafsa's house and Fatma's. He demolished these two.
Right. Okay.
And then he made a five-sided wall around the holy chamber. He didn't make it a four-sided wall like the Kaaba because he was afraid that the people might have the concept to walk around. The five-sided wall doesn't have any doors nor windows, and that means all the pictures on the internet are fake. The graves are sealed up. No one gets in there, not even for maintenance, not even for cleaning. Yeah. Okay, and then 800 years ago, Baybars made another wall around the five-sided wall. He made it to protect the five-sided wall. 10 years later, Mamluk Sultan raised the outer wall to match the five-sided wall, and he made a small dome on top. Now ladies do ziyarah from here, and men will do ziyarah from there. Right. You see, this is Bab al-Salam. So we walk past them this way. These are the golden gates they grew up. So when we look through, we'll see the five-sided wall, not the graves. The five-sided wall or the Pentagon is covered by a green cloth, a green curtain. So that's why when people look at it, they think it's the Prophet's grave because it's green, but actually it's not. See, in 1481, a lightning struck the Prophet's masjid. See the small dome? It got burned down. So, like a group of people were chosen to go in there to clean up the holy chamber. Those people were the last people to see the graves. Some people say only one man was allowed to sit there, Muhammad Samhudi, and he was the last. No one has been there since 1481. It's been 538 years ago. Al-Zahir Baybars or Al-Ashraf Qaitbay rebuilt everything. See, he made the second wall of metal caging instead of food. He rebuilt the small dome. He made it of flake so it won't be burnt again. This dome is still there, but we can't see it. Any idea why? The green dome now covers everything. So the green Al-Ashraf Qaitbay built remember the blue dome? It was silver, so he made it on top of that.
Right, okay.
See, that's it. Then the Turks made it green in 1839. Now you can look through these windows and you will see the five sides. See, you can look through.
Yep.
See, that's what you see. See, you can see the wall, right?
Okay.
So that's what we see when we look through. Okay.